Hello. I'm gonna review some stud hands from yesterday, 7 of them to be exact. So the first hand, I wanted to check pre-flop. So we have Ace, King, Queen, Rainbow, and I may be underplaying hands like this. So that's kind of the point of this. So we're first to act here, and I folded, but a viewer disagreed, saying it was a raise. So I want to see what my equity is here against typical hands. So let's see. I guess we can just do verse what's known for now first. So Queen clubs, Ace hearts, King diamond, 6 clubs, 6 spades, 10 hearts, Jack heart, 8 club, 4 spade, and then let's say the 10, the Queen, and the Ace with random hands. So at these stakes, maybe we would see 6-handed, probably be a bit less, but anyways. What is our equity here? So 16%, so we're under our fair share of equity. If there's a pocket pair out there. Although it's not, I don't think that matters that much. What matters is how good this hand ends up by like 7th Street kind of thing. And also how expensive it is to get there, I think. So it's a hand that does seem like it would be pretty expensive to get there. And there's 2 dead 10s, which are really important cards for this hand. So really all I'm going for with this is 2 pairs. And there's a dead ace as well, dead queen as well. Like, this just doesn't seem great to me. And let's say that there's no pocket pair, we'll just give the other guy, we'll do it 5-handed with the dead 10 of hearts. That's our equity there. Like 4 dead cards that we want, 10, 10, Queen, Ace. So we have just barely above our fair share of equity. I feel like a hand like this, or in a spot like this, maybe as I get a lot better later on, I'll be able to be more comfortable about being more aggressive, and maybe a higher stake so people can fold and you can win unimproved. But I'm certainly happy to fold here at the moment. But yeah, I'm not sure. Alright, next hand. Jack of spades on 4th Street. It's this one here. And for this hand, I didn't actually say what I wanted to check, so we'll see. Brilliance over here, fold, raise, call, easy call, I think. Although I may be overvaluing small flushes from what I was reading yesterday. We'll see. Call. So let's check first of all 3rd Street. So we'll give them slightly wider ranges than they actually have, just for the sake of brevity. And just take that into account. And dead cards. 6 spades, 7 diamonds, 9 diamonds. So yeah, 3rd Street is mainly what I want to know. Well, first of all, what I want to know. 28% equity. Wow. With 2 dead spades. Yo, good morning. Ace King Queen seems like a reasonable starting hand. Catch an ace or king and you have against other ace pair or king pair good high kickers, right? Certainly draws to the best 2 pairs in the deck. And there's no dead aces, or no, there was 1 dead ace and no dead kings. But yeah, it seems like a reasonable hand. But for me at this point it's probably more of a trouble hand than anything. And I didn't like the number of dead cards, like 4 dead cards that I want. For a hand like that has nothing else going for it, just the 2 straight cards, 3 of which are dead. Or, yeah, no, 2 of which were dead. And then 2 blocked cards for pairs. Leaves what? So basically, if we go back, well, we're not going to go back to it because it's a pain in the butt, but there's 2 aces left in the deck, 3 kings, 3 queens, 4 jacks, so we're at 8, 12, and then 2 tens. So 14 cards. And I need to hit like cards like that twice, 2 of those 14 cards kind of thing. Which isn't that hard with 4 shots, but it's... I guess it's more cards than I thought, maybe. Although king and queen is not great, because it loses 2 aces up. But I mean, that's only one set. It's the hand you want to see capped all streets. But yeah, certainly I could see that Ace King Queen is I mean, I'm undervaluing it basically. It's the 3 top cards, after all. Right, so you're saying I should cap on 3rd Street here? I'm not sure that's what you meant, but... it's raised, cold called, and then I called. But yeah, so 3rd Street, very roughly 28% equity. So above my fair share with 2 dead spades. Okay, and on 4th Street, we don't know this, obviously. We know he has king showing, and he only called pre, so he's not super likely to have 3 kings here. but he could have two pairs. More than likely though he just has kings. So easy raise, I think. And it goes heads up, so I wanted to see what our equity has heads up here. So we'll give him, first of all, or it's diamond. We'll give him non-kings, we'll give him an ace of clubs to start, because this would be the average hand that I would expect him to have here. And we have jack of spades, and there's a bunch of dead cards actually that he needs to take into account. A bunch more. So deuce of diamonds, nine of spades. And 10 of hearts. And then deuce spade, 8 diamond, 8 hearts. So in the worst case where we get heads up, what is our equity? This is a spot, well once we plug in king 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 is a spot I want to know. Like here our equity is going to be pretty amazing. Still only 55%. On 4th, yeah, gonna go all the way. If you don't fill up, it's easy to fold on 7th, but this is the best spot. You can be in against a good hand also, so you can go for max out, yeah, no doubt. So, against king king, we have 55% equity. The more interesting question is against king king king, which sometimes you know they have the trips. Not in this case, I wouldn't know, but there's other spots. And I'm wondering, heads up, am I better than a coin flip? And the answer is no, so I should not be capping if I know they have trips. Interesting. Not too surprising, I guess. But yeah, we expected he has king king here, so I think raising is fine and capping. Well, I don't know about capping, but like if I raise and he re-raises, which is what happens here. Once he re-raises, he has at least 2 pair or trips. So what if we give him 9-9 king king? Should I be capping? So I should not be capping here. That's interesting. Because I mean, for him to re-raise here, he at minimum has 2 pair. So capping is incorrect. Heads up. But as soon as there's a third player, I'm sure capping is totally standard. But heads up is a bit different. So I only have 44% equity here at best. And some of the time he has trips. So I have like 40% equity here, so against his range. So I definitely don't want to be capping it up once I get to this point. And then on 5th Street, it's going to be even worse. So I should not be raising here. So let's give him the 2 pair hand, 3 of diamonds, and we get a jack of clubs. So yeah, this is not going to be a raise. It's going to be a call. But I raised, I'm sure. Yeah. I only have 41% equity against 2 pair. It's going to be even worse against trips. Wow, 27%. So I was really getting my money in bad here. And then I capped it, yeah. Got my money in so bad this hand, but then again, it's the worst case scenario. But even in the best case where he has 2 pair, I'm getting my money in bad, so I should have been raise calling on 4th, and then calling here on 5th, and then calling on 6th. Well, we'll see 6th though. So 6th is a bit different because I now have 2 pair as well. But it's not going to change anything because my 2 pair is worse than his worst case 2 pair anyway. 4 clubs, 4 hearts for me. So we'll give him the 9 first for 2 pair. It gives me full house outs at least, if he doesn't fill up. But yeah, so I have 27% equity against his 2 pair, which is really not that much. Why is my equity so bad? I guess that makes sense. I have like 6 or 7 outs to the spades, assuming he doesn't fill up. And then 4 outs, so like 10 outs, and he has to miss his full house. So yeah, 27% sounds about right. And then if he has king, it's going to be pretty similar. 24%. Right, so turns out capping on all streets, not even close. So calling here is fine. This might be the one street where I could actually re-raise. Interestingly. And here, raise is normal, but as soon as everybody folds and we're heads up and he's re-raising, I should be calling here. And here I should be just calling. And here I should just be calling as well, for sure. Which I did. So at least I got one street right. I mean, I got several things right and several things wrong. But this doesn't happen very often, the heads up. But it'll happen more and more at higher stakes, so I'll need to know how to play this well. So one last time. Call pre-flop is good. Raise here is good. Call the re-raise. Because we're like 33% if he has trips and we're 40% if he has two pair. And he has one of those two hands for sure. And then here on 5th we get slightly worse because there's less cards for us to hit a spade, so we would just call. And then on 6th, same idea, although we have full house outs, it doesn't really change that much. So we would just call as we did. So I realized a street too late that I should slow down. That's normal with my current experience level. And then at the end we hit. I don't know if we should be raising now. I guess it's opponent dependent, but we know by now that he has at least trips, or at least two pairs, so he could be filling up here, and raising is a bit dangerous. He could also have a higher flush than us, even, theoretically. We went a little crazy when we raised, because we finally got there, and he re-raised. And we called, and somehow we still win, so he was too aggressive at the end. On 7th, when he has trips and he bets and you raise, you can only win one big bet. Because he knows what's up. Yeah, I don't really like my 7th Street raise, but I'll get better at that spot. It's not a big deal. It's kind of subtle, right? I want to go for max value, but I'm still feeling out against different people when I should be raising those spots. But most people would play this more passively, which is call on 7. Turns out I was correct, but it was probably just a fluke more than anything. 4th and 6th, you can win 3-3 bets. Yeah, no, but raising on 4th, 5th, and re-raising on 4th, 5th, and 6th is incorrect because I have less than 50% equity, and we're heads up. So it's just straight up giving him money. But yeah, the raise on 4th is fine because you're hoping to get in multiple bets multi-way. But once it gets heads up, he's ahead in equity the whole way, and so I should just be calling. Nine? Oh, go for one bet or 9 bets. That's the thing is, he has more equity than me, so by putting in 9 bets, he is gaining more than I am out of that. Because, for example, on 4th Street, in this exact case, 2/3 of the time, he's getting these bets, and 1/3 of the time, I'm getting these bets back. And then on 4th Street, or sorry, on 5th Street, what was it? On 5th Street, 73% of the time, he's getting all these bets we're putting in. And 27% of the time, I'm getting the bets. So I'm giving him money here by raising. And then on 6th Street, if I did raise, 73% of the time, I'd be giving him the bets, and 27% or something of the time, I would be getting the bets back. So it's a net loss. All those bets are net losses because he has more equity than me at those moments. And we're heads up. As soon as there's a 3rd player in the hand, everything changes. Because now I have more than my fair share of equity multi-way. So at that point, I want to get as many bets as I can in on every street. At least that's my understanding of the situation. But yeah, let me know what you think. So next hand, 6 of club on 4th street. 7s on 5. Right. I wasn't sure by any means, but seeing this now definitely helps solidify. Because like those situations are pretty simple multi-way, but heads up I wasn't really sure, and I went a little too crazy on 4th and 5th. 4th, I mean, I don't blame myself at all. Like 4 flush on 4th is so amazing. Like even heads up, it seems like it would be good enough, but actually turns out like that it's not. If they well, basically if they're re-raising, basically if they have 2 pair better. Haha, you're a fish. It's all good. I mean, neither of us is a stud expert, so we're learning. So this one here, I have split 7s, and I wanted to review 4th street. So the bring-in's over here, limper with a jack showing, limp with a deuce showing, we limp, easy limp, call, full fold, and then we have a 3 suited, 3 connected, pair of 7s. So everybody checks to me. So yeah, we'll just plug this in as best we can. I felt like this was probably a bet here, even though I don't really have much of anything. It's still pretty nice, like 3 suited, 3 connected, and pair. I feel like it's good enough, especially when everybody's checking. So I just want to see what my equity actually is, though. Get a better idea. So 5 clubs, 7 clubs, 7 hearts, 6 club. And there's some dead cards from those 2 players. 3 spade, king spade. So, with all the information we have, let's see what our equity is. Wow, 41% equity, that's crazy. It's even better than I imagined. Much better than I imagined. Interesting. Betting is always fine to protect your hand a little. Yeah, as well. Yeah. Definitely I want to tend to bet there. I just wasn't sure how good my hand is in that spot, and it's actually better than I imagined. Which is good to know. Very good. We bet, get called in 3 spots, and then we double pair, so now it's easy. Guess we can plug it in for fun. See how our equity is. Got folded. I mean, they all blanked, so it's only going to be better. 47% 4 ways. If no one does bet, you could do it fine, I think. But if last to act, it's a clear bet, yeah. I think I was wondering also, like, if I was, or I'm wondering if I was earlier in the betting order, if I should be betting that. Or like check raising, if it gets bet, called. Because it's kind of like, basically having 3 suited, 3 connected is kind of like having 4 suited, no connection. Or like 3 suited, 3 connected, and a pair. I feel like it's kind of like having 4 suited and nothing else. Because I have backdoor flush, backdoor straight, and pair. So it's getting close to a 4 flush. Maybe it's more like a 4 straight or something. But yeah. So that's good enough for that hand. Next hand, deuce of diamonds on 4th street. is it here. Check raise also cool to do, yeah. Also, for higher stakes, it'll add some good misinformation, right? If I'm check raising a hand like that, people will be... It'll look like I have, like on 4th Street, if I'm check raising, they'll be certain that I have a 4 flush, right? So if I like turn into a straight or something, or hit a 7, my hand will be more disguised than normal. Or if I hit a club, they'll think that I have the flush already, so they'll slow down, but I actually don't. Maybe they'll fold when I have a 4 flush only. So it's pretty cool. Right, so next hand is this one. I believe I want to check 4th Street. Yeah, with the value of my hand on 4th Street. So the bring in is me. It's a me. Limp limp. We check. Yeah, 2-6 is showing. Right, check raise there. You're saying interesting. So it checks to us. Yeah, so I did a bunch of studies on 3-suitedness a while back, but now that I know how to play the forced flushes, basically when I'm 1 card away from my flush, I've got a good feel for that, but now I'm a bit unsure about spots like this where I have a 3 flush on 4th Street. I want to know what my equity is so that I can know whether I should be betting or calling or raising or check raising and stuff like that. I feel like I should probably be playing it passive and just check calling. Or if it's check to me, I can bet, but I won't want to be capping, I think. And I just need to confirm that. So we have 10 club, ace, diamond, 8 diamond, 2 diamonds. It also depends on how many dead diamonds. Like here there's 3 dead diamonds, so it's not great. So yeah, we only have 22% equity, barely more than our fair share against, and their hands are going to be better than random. So I don't think we have our fair share of equity here. And what if they don't have diamonds? How does that change? Go up to theoretically more than our fair share, but still wouldn't be that much more, because their hands again are better than random. So I could say one guy's queen here, queen of diamonds. So yeah, we don't even have our fair share of equity, so we should just be playing passive till we get that 4th diamond. Ace and A2 might also be the best high hand after all. Yeah. Fishy, but still, right? A bit loose, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I would tend to bet. Like, if it was check to me here in last position, I don't know if that's the case here, I don't think it is, but I would have no problem betting to get at least one person to fold, and there's some decent value here, and I tend to err on the side of being aggressive. I would rather do that. Especially at higher stakes. Like at lower stakes, it's like, people are not folding, so it's like it could go bet, call a lot of the time. So yeah, check to me, second last to act. So I'm okay with just checking here. Yeah. But yeah, so basically 3 flushes, not that good. Makes sense. Alright. They're good enough to continue, but not raise and re-raise and whatnot. Multi-way. Next hand, 3 of clubs. Hey, Niflum. Good morning, or good evening in your case. How's it going, man? Reviewing some stud hands here. Been doing good at poker since I returned, but it's probably just a lot of luck more than anything. It's new, man. What percentage into 95 are you? Okay, next hand. So this one I wanted to review 5th Street. Eating and watching me analyze the hands. Nice. So yeah, this hand, Bon Appetit. 5th Street, raise equity versus ace, 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 ace. Okay, so I want to see 5th Street. Nice! Holy shit, almost 96. Very nice. So the bring-in is here. Yeah, I leveled my new character to... I only leveled him to the end of act, or end of normal. Didn't really have a lot of time. And I won't be able to play today or tomorrow, but I'm enjoying it, the Ranger. So it's folded to us. We have a hand that I guess normally I would fold, but... Oh, that's not me. That's somebody else. This is me. He raises. Easy call. So really heads up here. He bets. Easy call. Oh, it's bits double though. So only getting 3 to 1 or so. But it's probably still an easy call. Let's plug this in just to see exactly. You can put in dead hands as well. PoE. Come on, bruh. Not like this. Yep. It's not gonna be for everybody, that's for sure. So dead cards. 7 spades, 7 diamonds. Queen club, queen heart. And 10 clubs. And 4 heart, king heart, 10 heart. Club versus 3 diamond, 2 club. So in this exact spot, wow, we're actually really not that good. We have 22% equity, but I guess with implied odds and stuff, it's probably fine. Getting 3 to 1. Okay, so we call now. This is the spot that I want to analyze. The 4 flush on 5th Street. When you know they either have like ace ace or ace ace ace. So 5 of spades. We have deuce of hearts. Basically, the heads up spot is kind of like the other one where I was wondering how these 4 flushes work heads up versus, because I know multi-way how good they are, but heads up is different. So it's going to be similar to before, I guess. So there's 1 dead heart. So let me guess before I plug it in here. I'm going to guess that I'm like against ace ace ace. Well, against ace ace, maybe 40% or something. But like in this spot, it'd probably be about 40%, I think. So 43%. So yeah, less than 50% equity. And then if he has ace ace ace, it's going to be even worse, obviously. But not by too much. 37. Oh, it's a big difference actually. Yeah, I guess because he has full house outs. Still though, it would be an easy call either way. So you see I raised here, and that was incorrect. Even against ace ace, which is kind of the best case scenario. 43% equity. It's not that bad, but need calls. But I guess doing that we can take a free card on 6th. So there's, I might still do that in certain situations where it's likely that, I mean here he's guaranteed to be acting first on 6th. So by raising on 5th, I can get a free card if I don't improve, or I can get an extra bet if I do improve, like in this case, instead of calling or call betting. So that's a play that I'll need to integrate. You're paying attention to opponent's boards heads up to raise 5th Street to take a free card on 6th Street, like in Limit Hold'em, for example. I didn't do that for this reason here, I just did it because I thought I had more equity than him on 5th, but yeah. So that's that. But yeah, once again, heads up, the flushes are not as good. They're a bit behind. Next hand, second last hand, so 6 of spades on 4th Street. Yeah, or if you miss, you can still bet as a bluff. Sure, yeah. The opponent dependent, I could certainly bet again. No doubt. Semi-bluff. So, is this the one? A7-7? Nope. 6 of spades. Jack 10-5. Yeah, this is it here. Because he only has one pair, yeah. If I can bet six, if it's the kind of player that would call 6th and fold 7th, then I can consider bluffing. Like if it's a pretty tight player, I can consider semi-bluffing 6th and bluffing 7th. Those will be plays for higher stakes and when I'm better as well. But definitely it's in the back of my mind for sure. So here I wanted to check. Should I raise 5th Street if Slave bets? So here the bring in, we limps around, bet. So raise here certainly seems good. And they bet the minimum, which is indicative that they don't have trips, which they did not have indeed. This guy calls, so we get it in 3 ways, so this is good. So basically I want to know if this player bets here. I think that's what I want to know. Raise 5th to slave bets, yeah. So I want to know if I should raise, and the answer is yes. I don't know. Like if he bet here, should I raise? And the answer is yes, because this guy's probably going to call again anyway. And we're getting, oops, we're getting it in 3 ways. With a 4 flush. So I think I know the answer to this without actually doing it. I mean, for sure with the actual hands too. Well, let's plug something in here. So if I have so if I give this guy the trip 2s, so like if he donks again, maybe he would have hit 2 pair, so that would make more sense. So say he bets on 5th Street into us with his 2 pair, should I be raising? Oops. And then there's dead cards on 3rd. King club, deuce spade, 3 diamonds. And then 1 more dead card from this guy, 4 spades. So if Slavanka bets on 5th, and we raise, what happens? So we don't actually have more than our fair share of equity. If they bet. But I mean, raising can still be good because we can make Irina make an incorrect fold, for example, with proper equity to call. If the player is bad tight, or doesn't, basically we make them fold a hand that they should be calling. Raising could be good anyway, because we have almost our fair share anyway. And getting it heads up is a huge win. Goddamn fucking shortcuts. And if they, yeah, they would have at least 2 pair if they donked into us. Yeah, it's interesting that we don't have our fair share of equity 3 ways. So how many dead spades are there? There's 2 there. Well, there's 4 dead spades is partly why, probably. So if we take out all the dead spades, what happens? Make them other suits. Of course, I missed 1. 4 diamonds, 4 hearts. Still no good. 2 ace of diamonds. So yeah, our equity goes up a lot based on the number of dead spades. So the only reason here is because there's so many dead spades, although we don't know about a couple of them probably. One of them. So I need to really be paying attention with flush draws to the number of dead cards of our suit. And that's gonna be subtle, like as I get better I'll have to like see, okay, well now there's 3 dead cards of my suit, so that means I should stop raising or whatever. That's going to be a bit subtle, but in the long run it'll add a little bit of value. Alright. Final hand, 6 of diamonds on 4th Street. Sure, he'll always call with aces up, but with only aces it gets tough. Yeah, exactly. Those aces hands are really hard. Like when you only have aces at the end and they're betting. I'll usually fold, but a couple spots where I've called and against the right opponent. It's scary, but it's nice when it works. There was one spot like that yesterday. I mean, you're getting such good odds. It doesn't really have to work very often, right? To be profitable. So 6 of diamonds. Right, so here it is. So this one I want to review the whole hand because I think it was probably a pretty crazy hand or something. Or at least parts of it are interesting. So we have rolled up 10s here and there's a dead 10. Which is a pretty cool situation if we were playing at higher stakes where people are paying attention to the dead cards. They would discount us having 10s, let alone trip 10s. They would think we have probably 10 ace ace or 10 king king, more than likely. So they would misjudge our hand. But here at these stakes nobody really likely noticed that. So the bring in is here. We are first act, we raise, gets called, called, bring in folds. There should be 2 cents more in the pot. Let's check to us, we bet. Standard so far. Check to us again, we bet. Gets raised here. So this is where it gets interesting. I mean, we have to re-raise, there's no question. Really? Why am I not re-raising here? Oh, he has a 3 flush showing. And I think he was probably a pretty passive player or something for me to not re-raise it. I don't know. I think I check raised the next street, so probably I was regretting not re-raising here or something. It's a thin spot. Let's give him a flush here and see what our equity is. For example. And his actual hand after. Do I care about dead cards? Guess I should. 10 diamonds. Alright. So on 5th Street, when he raises us, with his actual hand, let's just plug it in. So I mean, we're crushing his actual hand. He has 2 outs to the jacks, basically. No, that's not true. He has 4 outs, but we can improve to a full house. But yeah, either way, it's probably gonna be like 10%, 23%. Interesting. I guess because he has 2 shots. Also, he has 3 suited, which is small but non-zero consideration. But yeah, what I wanted to know though is if he had a flush here. So we'll give him. Instead of this, deuce diamond, 4 diamond. You see me not saying hi? What? I just saw the message. Hi! How are you? How's it going? How's your day? Oh, what? Oh, yeah, me. Hello! So, if he has a flush here, basically, we have 2 draws out of full house, so we're probably going to be like 30% or something like that. I don't know. Maybe a bit more? I don't know. Damn it. Wow, only 23%. Or what? No, it failed. 4 diamonds is in 2 spots, so 5 diamonds. We're only 23%. Interesting. Basically, we have 2 shots at, yeah, I guess 3 6s and 3 9s. So we have 6 hits here. Actually, -3. So we have 3 hits. That's why. 3 hits and then up to 6 hits on 6th Street. So we have less full house draws than normal. Also, our 10 is dead too. Hello, my friend. Are you everything okay? Everything's okay. We're making pennies, dimes, nickels, dollars even, baby. So things are okay. Right, so against the flush we're in bad shape, which is kind of what I feared on 5th Street. But I don't know, like as a player, let's say he has a 4 flush, which is more likely, then we should be re-raising. But yeah, we're gonna be in good shape, so I should re-raise there. I feel like he was not that aggressive of a player for me to not re-raise there anyway. Oh, this is taking a while. So we'd be 75% if they have a 4 flush, which is pretty sick. Alright, well, so 6th Street, we did elect to call in any case. And we check, and I'm pretty sure we check raise here, yeah. Because I felt like maybe I was playing it a bit too passive, so I wanted to get another bet in. And against his actual hand, certainly correct. We're 88%. The problem is if he re-raises, we're drawing to a full house, so we have 3 6 outs or something, yeah. So it's like a high variance play. I should have just simply re-raised 5th Street though. And then once he caps, then I can just go into check call mode till I hit a full house. Whatever, not a big deal. And then the problem here again is 7th Street. We didn't improve, so... But we got a diamond, so this actually reduces the chances that he has the flush. We drew 2 diamonds there. I didn't even notice that at the time. So that would have been a good reason to bet here, I think. Because this kind of hand was far more likely than a flush. Plus where they needed diamonds, the 10 of diamonds, the 9 of diamonds. Yeah, there were 2 other dead diamonds, so 2, 4, 5, 8. There's only 5 diamonds left in the deck. So yeah, I probably missed I did miss a bet here, but I checked because I figured he could have hit a flush if he had a 4 flush. And our hand isn't that great.
Records, but you know he sell a lot more, man, if he take his picture off the cover.
It wasn't that much to look at in this hand. I need this guy's stats, which I don't have on me here, so to know if I should be raising 5th, like unequivocally. But yeah, thus completes the hand review part of the session. Any way to get some other music going? I think I'm getting a tumor. Yeah, song requests are on. Unfortunately, I'm going to be switching over to poker anyways, but song requests are always on when I'm not playing Path of Exile. So you can just exclamation SR whatever you want, and yeah, anything. He wants Taylor Swift. But yeah, so I'm going to pause the stream here basically and come back in about 10 minutes after delay, and I'll be playing some stud poker, applying what we've learned here. Beatles Hard Days. I'm not sure if my song request thing will play while I'm switching to poker. I can leave it on and we'll see. It should be okay. But yeah, I'll be back in about 10 minutes after delay. Play some poker. Thanks for tuning in, guys. No filth. Later, Lost.